Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So the video you guys have asked for, the reasons to buy or not buy the Microsoft Surface Duo. So I like to cover different things, and I pretty much like to answer your questions. A lot of you guys have asked, why should I buy this, or why would a person buy this? You probably shouldn't buy this. Well, a lot of that comes from people who actually don't own the device, and I understand they might have some concerns and have some reserves about spending $1,700 after taxes, or close to $1,700 after taxes for this device right here. And it could be challenging for a lot of people. I mean, most people probably have a credit card, but do you want to put this on your credit card and pay monthly for this? Or do you want to pay cash for it? It's all up to you. But here are some reasons why you probably should buy or not buy, based on what I've gotten your feedback and my own personal use after using this for several weeks. I got to tell you, some of the things on this list are good and bad. I'll try to give a resolution for some of these things, but an alternative, basically. So the first thing is the form factor. This is an awkward form factor. Let's just be honest here. This is an awkward form factor for the majority of the world. It's awkward. Some people are going to say, ugh, I can't do that. They're not going to like it. And it's bad enough that it's really wide, and then has a square corners over here and then round corners on this side. So it's really awkward. It's a different, let's be honest, it's different. And I'm going to use the word awkward because your traditional cell phones, they look like this. They don't look like this, and they don't fold open like this. So some people will think this is just super weird. I mean, the phone folds all the way around. If that isn't awkward enough for a person that's never seen anything like that, and you'll be surprised how many people have never seen anything like this, man. You will be surprised. It'll blow your mind. But the offset of that is that there's a lot of functionality to this form factor. Obviously, you can see here, I got two big screens. And this is where I think the future of tech is going for smart devices. And this form factor is wide, it's really big, it's short, it's stubby. It's just all the things that a person probably might not want. They might just want to pick up their phone and use it, or jump on the internet, and this might be a little confusing to some people. However, I will say that this form factor, while that is a downside for a lot of people, this is a huge pro because it takes you in the direction of where we see the world is going to go with technology and smart devices. And I think that's a huge plus for Microsoft, because this hinge is way better than the hinge on my Galaxy Fold 2. It's just having them both here. This is a nice hinge. So if Samsung could do something like this and then still have the center covered, they might be onto something. But I'm pretty sure there's some kind of patents that Microsoft has on this hinge. I'm pretty certain. But this form factor is awkward to some, and great to others. I personally am not bothered by it because I have these massive hands. Some people would say mittens, but yeah, it's awkward. This form factor and this whole setup is just going to be awkward to a lot of people. Now, the next thing on the list is the camera, because there's only one. That's going to be a reason why you probably should pass, or there's options to why you might want that. So, but the main concern is that there's only one, and then it's not really that good. I mean, it's good for when you're doing certain things, but it's not like if I take a picture right now, it probably won't look that great. Some people say they cut corners because, they had to cut some corners somewhere. I just don't believe that he can give an interview and say, that wasn't our focus or this wasn't our focus. But reality is we have to give customers some kind of something special when it comes to cameras, because we live in a social media age. Everybody puts their entire business online, and they put it online with their cameras. They put their whole life online with their cameras. And even though this is quote unquote more of a business device, using the cameras for Duo turned out to be great. I did a video vlog with it. It was great because I was outside. It's just, the cameras are a reason you probably want to pass on this thing if you like, because there's plenty of people that like a business device, but then you still want a great camera, and you can get that in other devices. It's going on right now. There's plenty of devices that are for business, and they have fantastic cameras. And so there's no excuse really for Microsoft to put this weak camera in this device and price it the same. So that might be a reason why you want to pass on that. Now, the flip side of that is, no pun intended, you have it better with this device when you're doing a vlog. You don't need a kickstand case or nothing. The phone is the kickstand and the case and everything all in one. It's great. It is fantastic. This is a good look for Microsoft. You have all these different modes you can do when you're using the camera. It's just a good look. It's how, most people probably would enjoy their device if they could. Yeah, that's a good look from them. Period. So the next thing is, I don't know if you caught that along the bottom where some of the icons didn't appear right away when I flipped it back to this mode. That was next on my list, the software. That might be one of the main reasons I would tell a person to pass on this right here if they were on the fence. If you don't have the patience to wait on these software updates, because they're going to be releasing another software update in October. There's already been one for September. Microsoft has promised they're going to fix some things monthly if they need to, but they're still going to give a monthly update. And this device is supposed to get a software update every month. We'll see how that holds up. And if you notice at the bottom, the icons didn't appear right away and then they kind of came over. The software, it's just not ready for prime time. And I'm running the latest Microsoft launcher, and that's the first time I've had any kind of hiccup with this new launcher on here, the updated beta version. But the fact is, it happened. And I'm not sweating it. I'm not going to throw it out the window. I'm just saying that software, it's not polished yet. This is the first run. This is the first try of something like this. And so if you don't have the patience to wait on all the bugs to be worked out, and you don't want to be a test dummy like some of us out there, wait until the next generation and hope that it does great like the Fold. The Fold has done great on the second generation. It's just a whole nother device. So the software is definitely not ready. And I've said that multiple times, but I mean, this is speaking in terms of a person saying, like the questions you've asked. I mean, I don't know. I would say if you just don't have the patience to wait on each update and watch this device progress into greatness, you might want to pass on it because of the software. That's another thing. Now, another thing that might want to make you pass on this is the screen size. Now, these are two 5.6 inch displays next to each other. Now, I do have a matte screen protector on here, so there's no gloss or anything coming up off of it. But when I didn't have this matte screen protector on there, it seems way more vibrant. Matte kind of dumbs it down a little bit, so you tend to have to crank the brightness up a lot to get that real. It's not for me. Crank to see how far the brightness is. Crank. This is the brightness at 100% right here. So, and if the matte screen protector wasn't on there, it would be even more vibrant and just vivid. This would be really nice. So, these screen sizes by today's standards are not acceptable. They're two 5.6 inch displays next to each other, and some people are gonna be upset about that. They're not gonna like that. They're gonna, and that goes again with that form factor. You got these two big old wide. What is this, 4x3, I believe, right? You got these two big screens next to each other, and even though they're good quality screens, they're AMOLED displays, they look fantastic, man. I mean, they look great. However, some people might not like this because of the bezels at the top. Some people are really going to say they should have just stretched this out. They are wrong for that, for squishing these screens in here when these could have been 6-inch displays. And you're absolutely right. I totally agree with you on that. These displays could have been a lot bigger. However, the alternative to that is they are really good quality, and I really like them. You can watch 1440p videos in them. It's got a high resolution. It's 1800 by 2700. This is a 3:2 ratio. I'm sorry. But it's got a really high pixel count, and they are great. It's Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on there. 3:2 when it's open, and 4:3 for each one. So I had to look at it again. But honestly, I just, these displays people are not gonna like these screen sizes once they get them in hand. And then if a person, some people keep theirs like this, because you really don't have to close it if you want. Like the offset of that notification thing, I know I've said it before. You can actually just keep it open, and you'll see all your notifications. It'll pop up. You'll get a little pop up, and you're good to go. I don't know. These screen sizes might be awkward to people, but I see the innovation here from them with these screen sizes, and I just think it's really nice that they've done it this way. It actually worked. I don't do that very often, but I noticed that with the new Microsoft launcher, you don't have to like switch it quick. I'm not really switching it over that fast. But anyway, the screen sizes are going to be awkward to some people, and it's just what it is. That's just what it is. When you're watching YouTube or something, or you're doing something, put something on here. No, you don't want to see my calendar. That's just a bunch of stuff about praying in there. Let's put on a video here. Oh, you know what? I had to put it on airplane mode because I was getting a whole bunch of notifications. So this is actually take 3 of this video. Believe it or not, I know you guys who create videos, you know that you've got several takes, and honestly this is take 3 because I just kept getting a whole bunch of notifications. But nonetheless, the form factor in watching, when you're watching YouTube, it kind of fills up this little screen, and then you can't pinch to zoom or anything like that. It's just whatever's on display is on display, and you're actually getting less display. So it's kind of weird, but nonetheless, that is another thing. Another thing is the storage options. Now, there's only 2. There is 2 storage options, and they're not good enough. Let's just be honest here. That's why I went with the 256 gig version. People who got the 128, hey, do your thing. I respect it. If you didn't want to spend that extra $100, you have your reasoning for doing that. But personally, I feel like this is a situation where spending the extra money probably was worth it, because you're getting double the storage here, and it's $100 more. So I have the 256 gig version here, and it's $14.99, I think, or 15, something like that. I don't know. It came to like 16 something after taxes or whatever. But nonetheless, this is the 256 gig version, and this is what I would recommend for a person. If you plan on keeping it, you definitely should get it. Now, if you don't plan on keeping it, then okay, grab the 128, test it out like you do or whatever, or sell it off later, whatever you do. But if you're going to keep this, like I plan on keeping this, you want to get the highest model memory that they have. I know it's really pricey, but this is a fail on their part because they only offered 128 or 256, and then they didn't offer an SD card expandable slot. Now, I do have a portable storage. I have the 500, I have the 64, I have the 250. I have all those portable ones I can just plug in via Type-C. But it's unacceptable that they only have 2 storage options, and the price is really high. So yeah, but the storage options, that's just something that they really should have offered more. This should have been a 512 gig, and then the other version should have been a 256 gig. Folks, there's no reason why they couldn't have done this. There isn't. When it comes to the memory chip in here, it's probably smaller than the little blue edit button. You know what I'm saying? So the 256 gig version should have been the lower price, and then the 512 or even 1 terabyte, folks. It's totally possible. Don't we have a 1 terabyte iPhone right now? I think we do, right? I'm not sure. We have a 512, I know. But nonetheless, we have 512 devices, period. The other fold is 512. Other phones are 512. There's no reason why they shouldn't have done 512. And that is another reason why you should probably buy or not buy the Surface Duo. Now, one thing is, obviously, speaking of buying, is the price. That alone should be a deterrent for you if you decide, I just can't do this. That is a total turn off. I've seen a lot of people say that. I like the device, but it's a turn off for that price. And I understand. I understand that if you feel like this thing is overpriced, because, well, it is. For all the things that it has, the shortcomings that it has, it's overpriced. I think it's hard to justify phones over the price of this phone. This is the Pixel 4a. This phone can do the things that this phone can do. Is just on a smaller screen. Speaking of like the Microsoft Office and all these things, and it has better cameras. It has great battery too. But this just you'll have to determine whether or not at the beginning you want to decide if this is worth it or not. Now, from the rip, you'll see a lot of people say this is straight up worth it. I love it. You'll hear people saying that, and I'm not going to get on board with that. I don't think any device over $400, I think you really start to have to justify, because you have OnePlus phones, Pixel phones, and now there are tons of Samsung phones that are just beast mode. I've reviewed a lot of them on the channel, and there's just a lot of phones that are under $200-300. They can do the basics like this phone can do without any headaches. So price, that's what you're going to probably see first. If you don't see this beautiful display first and all these other things, and then you ask, well, how much does this cost? They're like, oh, the smaller memory option is 14 and the bigger one is 50. You're like, whoa, for a phone? oh no, man, let me go back over here to where I belong. That is where a lot of the world is, and it's just what it is. So last thing is the color options. The color options, there's only one. Now there was a demo of a black version, but Microsoft decided to ditch that one. And you know, hey, they said we're not putting that out. You know, here are my notes that I was taking on the Galaxy Fold. I think I covered everything there. But the last one there is the color options, and I feel like a matte black version of this one, or even a gloss black, would have been so sweet. It would have been so sweet. So there you have it, folks. Some reasons why you should probably buy or not buy based on my personal opinion and your feedback. I'm pretty much agreeing with a lot of the things you guys said at the initial when I first got this. But, you know, I have to use it. You know what I mean? It's good to use it first and, you know, keep it for a while and just make sure you really get a feel for it after a couple of weeks. And I think that's where I'm at. I'm 3 weeks in or however long I've had this, and I actually love it. It's fantastic. And that's just what it is. So those are some reasons that you probably should pass on it, or you make the decision whether or not you want to buy it or not. But those are some key factors. And I could make this list a lot longer, but this video is already like 16, 17 minutes, and I didn't expect to go this long. But smartphoneconversations.com, that's the plug. So head over and see the latest post. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. The Microsoft Duo is a device that is here. They're giving it, this is what they're offering right now. I like it. I scanned it. It's from SophieGuard.com. Hit the link in the description. This is the default bumper that came in the box, and it's still on, as you can see. I actually love this setup right here. I'm really loving it. This is just a great device. And even though I'm calling out these things for you to let you know, hey, you probably should skip it because of this. This is just to keep the conversation open, because I'm not going to get on video and pretend like there's nothing wrong with this device or reasons why you should just only buy it. That's not realistic. So there it is. You guys asked for it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.